Good morning. Welcome back to the MartiniWorks Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We're so happy to have you back. And if you're just checking in, let us know where you're listening to the podcast from.
That'd be cool.
That's today's task. I want to know where you are. Give me your location right now. And also, just so you guys know, if you're not watching, Dakota and I matched today. It's very, very exciting.
Twins.
We're twins.
The apparel's so good. We just all are wearing it except for Josie. Hates it.
I don't know what I thought. I walked out of the house this morning. I was like, I don't need a hoodie. I love hoodies. And I love hoodie weather, and it's hoodie weather. And I just completely disregarded it today. And that was stupid.
Yeah, I love I'm a big hoodie guy. Fall's my favorite season. But welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the motorsports side of things. We're going to be talking about Petite Le Mans that just ended last weekend at Road Atlanta. And then we're going to spend the rest of the podcast really jumping into how do you get into racing if you really wanted to. Not just your HPDE, but actual racing, whether that is competitive drifting, wheel-to-wheel racing, or competitive time attack or cone chasing, also known as autocross, which is a ton of fun too. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Dakota, you want to start it off? Yeah. I don't. Well, I do. Never mind. Coffee.
Okay.
Get your coffee at MartiniWorks.com. If you guys love it, let us know. We've gotten a lot of awesome feedback on it so far, which has been absolutely terrific. We only have a few bags left.
Yeah, a ton of people are tagging us in their stories, like when they wake up, make it in the morning. I think that's so cool. So if you did get the coffee or the merch or whatever, tag us. I try to reshare all of them if I can. It's really cool to see. And honestly, we've gotten awesome feedback. Everyone so far, knock on wood, that's tried it has loved it. I haven't seen one bad thing. So
yeah, and if you guys could help out, the one big thing I would say is if you do like it, we appreciate the shares, but head on over to the website and actually go to where you snagged this from and leave a review if you could, because it is something that you digest. I really want to make sure other people can kind of hear from people that aren't us, and if you liked it, and if you're a big coffee connoisseur, you can talk about what you liked or maybe what you changed. But of course, we appreciate all the love and all the support on the MartiniWorks coffee. A part of me feels like we are going to do something like this again in the very soon
I hope so, because I love it.
It was super fun.
We got everyone hooked on it, and now we're going to take it away from them.
That's messed up. All right.
Okay,
let's talk about Petite.
Yeah, you've been gone, and I don't even know what Petite Le Mans is, so I need an explanation on what that is. What's going on there?
Okay, so Petite Le Mans is something you dream of, but Petite Le Mans is an event that happens at Road Atlanta, which is a beautiful 2.5-mile racetrack. And it actually took place ever since in the early 1990s. Essentially, a racing series was canceled. It was scrapped. And so America was essentially left without any sort of global or national connection to the global motorsport series.
Damn it.
So there's a bunch of different names out there in the 90s specifically and into the early 2000s that a lot of people talk about, like ALMS, American Le Mans Series, ELMS, European Le Mans Series. They had the IROC channels, all these different things. But a guy by the name of Don Panoz owned Road Atlanta at the time, and he said, well, what the heck? I'll make it myself. And so he went to the ACO in the early 90s, which is an organization over in Europe, and said, hey, what you guys do with Le Mans is super cool. I want to do it in America. Can I? And they're like, sure.
Damn.
As long as you keep our name in it forever, and we'll give you a ticket to whoever wins that one can come race at Le Mans. And that's literally how it started.
Well,
so
shout out Don.
Pretty good deal, I feel like.
Yeah, he was a huge automotive entrepreneur, and I would almost argue, I'm probably using the wrong term, but he's almost like a philanthropist for the automotive community. He did so much to keep things going. He had his own vehicle manufacturing company called Panoz. He owned Road Atlanta for a time. He brought Petite Le Mans into the American circuit. And actually, a lot of people would argue Petite Le Mans is what kind of rebuilt a lot of domestic North American motorsport series and kind of what we get to enjoy today. So there's a bunch more information on it, but I can't recall it enough to be confident to tell thousands of people on a podcast. But ultimately, that's what happened. So it's been running since 1992-ish. And it's a terrific event. It's a multi-class endurance race. It used to be either 10 hours of racing or I believe it was 1,000 laps. It's either 1,000 laps or miles. I think it's laps. And then eventually they just turned it into 10 hours of driving, cumulative. So this past weekend...
What made him chose 10 hours?
I'm not entirely sure. I feel... based on what I know about this sort of stuff, it was probably more of like a city thing.
Okay.
Where like they're like, you're not running it at night. Like you ain't doing it. Those cars are loud. They're screamers at that track.
Atlanta's super quiet.
Yeah, Atlanta's a really calm city. You know,
we need to keep the peace. You know.
Yeah, but so that's exactly what happened. So now it's a 10-hour endurance race, which is honestly, it goes by a lot faster than you think. You would think a 10-hour race
sounds long.
Drags. It doesn't because you go, you watch the start, you kind of catching in on that. That'll take like 45 minutes. Maybe you go walk around the pits because it's an IMSA race and you can do that. And
that's part of IMSA races.
It doesn't cost you thousands of dollars to go in there, which is insane. It's one of my favorite parts of IMSA. And, after that, maybe you want to grab a bite. And that's going to take another hour. Then you go watch the racing for 45 minutes. And then you go get a drink for like an hour. Then you go and watch the racing for 45 minutes.
There's just stuff to do, huh?
It's just like it's the equivalent of like going to the mall when you were a middle schooler. Like you can just kind of putz around the whole track and just do a whole bunch of little things. And then if you end up running into people or you interact with a random enthusiast, a lot of time you'll spend a lot of time with those people. Like there was multiple interviews we did with folks who attended that were like, yeah, I'm just met this guy like 2 days ago and now we're grilling out, having beers together at his campsite. I'm like, that is so sick, like and it's really fun. This year, Road Atlanta actually had to shut its gates because they had reached capacity for the total amount of people that you could have at that track, which I believe is 150,000
that's amazing
human
to
beings.
Hear.
Damn.
150,000 people in a single spot.
I feel like racing is on the up and up. Like there's general interest around cars, racing, Formula One, like all of that.
Formula One did a lot of that.
It really got people into it. I mean, like I went to the mall the other day, and I feel like this has been going on for at least a year, but like you go into like PacSun or Zoomies or whatever, and there's automotive merch, whether it's LZ selling stuff or they're making their one-off own like in-house apparel and they're pushing car stuff. I'm like, this is crazy.
I went to the mall with Maggie the other week and we swung through like American Eagle and they had a bunch of like Red Bull Formula One shit. And I'm like, where am I?
It was the same thing with America. We walked into, we walked into Hollister because Becca wanted to see pants. And the very first
see in Hollister.
You can now. They
changed it. But I remember I walked in and the first thing I saw was a Camaro vintage style graphic tee.
Yep. Everyone's getting their fingies in on it.
So yeah, I mean,
times have changed. Automotive's cool.
Automotive and anime is cool. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
But I would say it was a great event. IMSA does a great job with it. They've been growing like a weed this year. I think they just hit like 1 million subscribers on YouTube about a month ago. And it's cool. We're working more closely with them now. I got to do a collaborated reel with them. I was out there with Brembo, which was really fun.
Freaking sick.
That was a really fun event. So I got to learn.
Make big brakes.
Huge.
Massive.
Huge
brakes.
Like 440 millimeter brakes. Like huge brakes. I got to hold a GTD carbon ceramic. It's like this big.
It's insane.
It's like a fish story.
It's so big. It's insane. But like learning about, like how calipers work and rotors and this sort of that. And I had to ask them, like the number one question I asked them right off the gate was, does slotted or drilled rotors matter more?
You should have asked them which fucking direction they go because I never know.
I asked him and he goes, you want to know the truth? I'm like, yeah, I want to know the truth. He's like, drilled or slotted, don't matter.
Damn.
Don't matter.
Really?
He's like drilled is nice. It looks cool. But functionally speaking, on a street car or even like a semi-track car, you're not going to notice it. If you go out there and you want the most functional version, you would want a slotted rotor.
So it does matter.
Because what it does do, a little bit. But he's like, it's a matter of saying, as the rotor's going in a circle, essentially those slots help with getting rid of debris, and then the heat gases that the rotor and the brake will give off, it actually evacuates it out, and it does have a direction to do that. But he goes, really what will make the biggest difference is the cooling veins of the rotor and
so
how
like
the inside. And a lot of those are actually mostly the same regardless on what type of rotor that you get. But they have asymmetrical veined rotors and directionally designed rotor vanes for like more track applications, and it essentially creates I don't know what the science term is, but essentially when they do their two-piece rotor system, they have the vanes inside and then these like air ports, and what it does is it creates a vacuum of air that forces the air up and out through a certain direction.
The Venturi effect.
Yeah, that's the one. And those rotors are very expensive.
I bet.
I've heard the airports are no good right now.
Dude, I'll tell you what, when I flew back in yesterday, because we left Atlanta at like, I don't know, Greg and I left at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I was scared shitless the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to the airport.
You've already had just nightmare scenarios all year.
And I was like sitting at the terminal, just looking at it on time. I'm just like sitting. And
Just waiting.
The moment she opened the door, I'm like, yes! And then we got in the plane and we're flying. And I'm like, now's the time to check the connecting flight. And I'm closer to the door. Greg is like in the third world country, it felt like, all the way in the back of the plane, practically working for them. And
He's handing out snacks.
Would you like sun chips or crackers?
Both.
And
Always.
It was 15 minutes from our first flight to our second flight. And so I got off the plane right away, and I just told Greg, all I sent to him was run.
I've gotten that message too many times.
Yeah, dude, I'm sick of running in airports.
I know.
Yeah, so
I don't run a lot. I know that's hard to believe by looking at me, but I run the most at airports.
Yeah. The best part was, in case anybody flies out of the Detroit airport, I will have you know that the Terminal Express tram from A68 to the center area where you would cross to Concourse B and C is slower than a brisk jog down that same way using the little running platforms.
Gotcha.
So in case you're wondering, if you
need to know,
yes, this is important. You guys need to know this too, because if you get off a plane and you gotta cook,
which I've had to,
the most polarizing decision you can make is whether you're taking that tram or you're not.
Because if it's absolutely required, I can't remember where we were one time. I think it was LAX or something. Like they were doing work on one terminal, so they put us in like some backcountry terminal, and they had to like literally bus everyone to the other terminal. Like that was the only option. Like you couldn't walk because it was like walking across like the active parkway. Like other than that, like I would never. I'd just rather book it.
So fun fact about that, you know, when they used to tell you like you need to get to an airport, I think it was 3 hours before your selected departure date.
Yeah,
it's because of that terminal in LAX.
Oh, really?
Because they did a time estimate between the maximum amount of time required to walk and go through TSA and this. And so literally to get to that terminal where you are, the furthest one away, can actually take up to 3 hours.
Yeah, it was nuts because everyone was trying to drive. Everyone was trying to catch their connecting flight, and they're sending shuttles over, but the shuttles can only take so many people. So we're like fighting to the front of the line to get on a damn shuttle because everyone's like, my plane is boarding now.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. But what's not terrible is listening to an Aston Martin Valkyrie fly by at every minute and 5 seconds.
Do you remember the name when we went to MC race at Laguna Seca? The winner. Oh, what is it? It was like Taylor Racing. No, Jack was
Taylor Racing.
Wayne Taylor Racing.
And who was the driver? Is his son, wasn't it?
Well, Jordan Taylor is one of the drivers. Yeah,
don't sound familiar.
I remember. I thought I seen a photo with Alex.
It's with Jordan
one of the
Taylor.
drivers, and I swear we interviewed him.
Probably because we interviewed the Wayne Taylor Racing guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was really nice.
He was super nice.
Yeah, he's actually kind of a shit poster, which I really, really like on the internet. It's kind of
I'll never forget asking the owner of Wayne Taylor Racing. I think Dakota asked something about should you cheap out on tires, and he's like, we get tires for free. Why would we ever do that? That's a dumb question. I always run good tires. And Dakota's like, we are in different worlds.
I also asked a lot of the drivers, what was it? It was like if they, what's their favorite taco or something like that, and they didn't know what tacos were. No idea.
They're
never
like,
heard of them.
What is that? We're like,
it was really groundbreaking stuff. So.
Learned a lot that trip.
But so the classes that they were racing there, what kind of cars were they in? Was it like?
Yeah, so you get your GTD and your GTD Pro. Mm-hmm. So those are essentially like your race spec street style cars.
Yep.
Right? So your Mustang GTD,
those are the ones I like watching.
911 GT3 RAR from AO Racing, the Ferrari 296, the Corvette. Mm-hmm. Those are all cars that are in those classes. And then they're broken up by if you have certain level of driving status versus not. GTD Pro is obviously all pro drivers. You have to have a certain class. And then GTD, you do not need that. You only need, I think it's one platinum rated driver. But essentially that's how they tier it out.
Gotcha.
And then there's LMP2.
Yep.
LMP2s are probably the underrated favorite car to watch at a track like that because they're very, compared to everything else, they're very small. like in width, and they're very, very quick in the corners. So they do a ton of overtaking. And then you obviously have a GTP class or a hypercar class is what I think it would be overseas. And GTP has like the Porsche 963 and the Aston Martin Valkyrie and the BMW that looks just insane. And then the Cadillac, which is an incredibly sounding cross crank, naturally aspirated electric hybrid powertrain V8, which sounds insane.
Yeah.
What are they using the electric for?
So the GTPs have essentially a hybrid system. It helps with getting out of pit lane, power, slow corners, things like that.
Does it do like the torque vectoring stuff too?
It can. Yeah. One of the coolest things that I learned actually was the GTP cars have individual front and rear brake systems. So the fronts operate as typical. You press the brake and there's a thing and it applies pressure, and then you can adjust that with a brake bias. But the brake bias in the rear is all electronically controlled. So there's nothing actually connecting the two physically to do it. So in every other car, if you were to adjust your brake bias, you can essentially put the same amount of brake pressure on the pedal, and when you adjust your brake bias, it'll feel it out front rear. In a GTP car, you actually have to change your brake pedal position when you adjust your brake bias. And so I got to ask like Jordan Taylor and the BMW team, like, do you change a lot of stuff as you're running around, or do you kind of like set it and forget it? Yeah. And Jordan Taylor, like without saying it, was like kind of a set it and forget it kind of guy, like very American, like I'm just going to get out there and do it. And then the BMW driver that I talked to was like, we adjust and we make changes as needed as we go through the track. And I'm like, oh, you change your shit all the time. Yeah. So it was super fun. But yeah, the GTP cars are super cool. The problem is the track with 53 cars on it being 2.5 miles long, there's a ton of traffic. And the GT3 cars or the GTD cars are kind of like always in the way, which makes for great overtaking. Right. So there's so many times like for FD Atlanta, they come down that straight and they whip it to the left and then up to the right. There were so many times where cars were passing 3 or even 4 wide on that straight because the track is small enough to where you're constantly seeing overtaking in the same exact spot, but there's no real safe place to just get by. You almost are always splitting. So like towards the last 2 hours of the race, you would see GTP cars split around the Mustang or like split around the Porsche.
That's wild.
It was really cool. It was some great driving.
It's gotta be terrifying being the slower car and just be like, oh my God.
Just constantly.
Just wow. It's like you get in the middle lane sometimes and you have traffic flying by you. I feel like it's that, but just like times 100.
Dude, it was wild. Like the craziest thing that happened was right at the beginning, there was a yellow flag, and then there's another yellow flag, and then a wheel flew off one of the cars on like turn 2, turn 3. And so it wasn't going slow. This wheel had to have been cooking at like 90, 100 miles an hour. And when it got disconnected from the car, it was still going.
They speed up.
80, 90. And it just kept bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And the cameraman's following it. It almost took out one of Zach Visser's videographers that was there. He's literally like, as you see the camera pan, it like hits this tree and you can see the whole thing kind of like shake down.
Terrifying.
And the one of our friends, his name is Zach Visser. He shoots a ton of motorsports content. Great guy. One of his teammates was out there. You can see him like get spooked because there's a random
literally kill you.
That's why, if you ever shoot media at those events, they have rules and where you can be, where you can't be, and then they say even when you are where you're supposed to be, keep your head on a swivel.
Always.
Because anything can happen at any time.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of tough driving. It was the last race. Everybody's really kind of like giving it their all, and it's just like go-kart racing. Where
last race of the year.
Last race of the year for IMSA. So yeah, or at least for that series. I'm sorry, but you see them. They all kind of drive really polite, really nice. Fast, quick. But GT3 cars are like, I'll let you pass because I'm not fast. In comparison to a GTP car. But the last 2 hours, they're like, fuck you. This is my track too. They're finally like shoulders out, like, no, this is my corner. And so you'll see people start to get a little bit more like bullish in the corners. But the GT3 cars are always fun because then they start fighting like back. Yeah. Because those other cars are so much faster than them in the corners. But they lose a lot of time by being polite. So then it's like time to start picking and choosing.
Yeah, it's like they're fighting their own battle. Then I always thought it was so interesting that they run literally like 3 races in one.
Yeah, it's fun.
Classes, it's crazy. I never understood that until we went, and I was like, "What the hell is going on out there?" I was like,
yeah.
Makes it interesting to watch constantly because there's constant overtake.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Towards the end, we saw what was really cool is Lamborghini had a really tough run this year, and they actually canceled their program entirely. And so they're exiting the GTP class. But this was their last race. And up until the final 20 minutes, they were on pace to podium.
Oh shit.
It was I believe it was Porsche, Aston Martin with the Valkyrie, and the Lamborghini, which was insane because the Aston Martin also started the year insanely slow.
Sure.
Like just way back of the pack, just could not figure it out. And so they've had this like collective improvement over the races, and we're like, "Oh my god, this is going to be an insane podium." Like Aston Martin and Lamborghini making it, but Lamborghini ran out of fuel, so they had to repit, and then they lost their podium. And then it ended up being Porsche, Cadillac, and
How do you
Aston
fucking
Martin.
run out of fuel?
Pushing it too hard.
Well, fill up, bud.
Well, you can.
Pull her into quick
It's
trip.
just going to take some time.
Use your reward card and fill up and get back out there.
49-cent bananas.
See you next time.
Oh hell no, you won't because last time.
Oh, that.
We saw. I was there in the pits when the final, the second to last pit was happening with the Lamborghini, and you can walk like all the way up and down with the right access. You can walk all the way up and down the pits the whole time. And the last one, you could tell they were like, nobody is getting in our way. We have to make sure this car, because like the headlight fell out, so they're like taping the headlight of the Lamborghini like front clip, and like people are taking pictures and videos, and all these Italians that don't know English are like starting to get increasingly frustrated that there's like a bunch of people everywhere. And so finally, the guy's like, guys, I just need like 2 minutes, just please for 2 minutes. And then there was another time that I thought was really interesting because when you're shooting media at an IMSA event, you can get much, much closer. But you have to be respectful of what's going on because people are trying to race. And there was a guy, and I was talking to them, and it was Team Miller Racing, I believe it was. And I asked if I could kind of stand in a corner and get a shot. And she said, absolutely. She's like, just be careful because the tires will be hot. I'm like, oh, of course, yeah. And the guy, he's like reading a book. He like looks over to me. He goes, kind of hot is not the right word I would use. Don't touch them because they'll be coming off smoking hot, like hundreds of degrees hot.
Damn.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, sounds good. So I'm there, and I get this video, and here's this guy, and they throw the wheel onto the top of almost like the barrier, and you see the other guy grab it and like rip it off, and he just kind of like rips it off and throws it onto the ground. And as it's rolling past me. I can see the smoke coming off of the wheel.
Jeez.
And then there's like little debris and like some like wrappers and stuff, like just things that are left as the day goes on. And the tire picked up all of it as it was walking. It was like a vacuum. It just like grabbed all this stuff as it rolled away. And I thought that was pretty neat. So no, it was a great event. IMSA was incredible. Brembo, brought me out, so thank you guys. They were insane. They're a huge partner for IMSA. All of their brakes are on the LMP2 cars, and then they're on a good portion of pretty much everything else out there. So I got to learn about how long they last and what they can operate to, which in Road Atlanta was 1,472 degrees of heat will get put to a Brembo caliper.
Jesus.
On the strongest braking zone, which is just insane. And then it cools down to 600 degrees, and then back up to 12, and then back to 4, then 7.
Brembo's always the biggest flex. I remember even when I was just getting into cars, the fact that my Cobalt SS came with Brembo's only on the front, not the rear. I was like, yeah, I got big brakes. I got Brembo's. Even today, I still think it's cool. Like my motorcycle, I got the special edition that came with Brembo's on. I'm like, that's badass. Yeah. Just a cool company.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. I got to meet the son of the founder who brought it into the United States back in like the 70s. So his name's Brandon. He's an incredibly passionate guy.
Brandon Brembo?
Not Brandon Brembo. But his name is Brandon. Great guy to talk to. We nerded out over brakes like the whole time because I do like enjoy learning about that because it's so cool to see how those things get applied.
Part. Yeah,
and how it gets applied to like the street side of things, right? Because all that data that they collect, they essentially bring back and they say, okay, how can we put it on a GTD or a Cadillac or a Tesla or whatever it is? So it's pretty cool. You want to know what else is cool?
What's that?
Fortune Auto coilovers.
Oh, they're super cool.
Those pretty neat.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Green and black. modular, build your own. They're actually super high quality, and they're fantastic for what the next segment's going to be about, which is jumping into racing, or if you wanted to. They do it all. I mean, they've got a ton of experience out on the track. They can build them to your specifications, which is absolutely fantastic if you're really trying to dial in what you want. I will say the Fortune 500s are probably the best place to start if you're just jumping into coilovers and you want to get a good quality set. If you know what you're doing, you want to jump into something a little bit more advanced, you can get the 510s. But one of the things that makes them really special is that digressive piston, which I personally really love on cars, because that
especially
means
for street use.
Yeah, because that means at slow speeds, slow corners, it's a little bit more of a sensitive feeling, so that you can actually feel the car a little bit more. And then when you're up at the high speeds, those same bumps don't impact you as much. So it kind of gives you that flexibility at low and high speeds. It's really nice. And if you're looking to pick up a set, you can go find that over at MartiniWorks.com. So Petite Le Mans was awesome. Yeah. There was a bunch of professional race car drivers, all of which have raced almost their entire life, it seemed like. We even ran into some people, though, that didn't. They started their life out as Call of Duty pro players from like Rafa Racing, and then turned into race car drivers, which was pretty cool. Greg, what was his name?
Kind of like the Gran Turismo guy.
Yeah.
The guy from Call of Duty that races now? Ian Porter. Crim 6. We got to hang out with him and talk to him for a little bit, so that was pretty cool.
Instead of playing Gran Turismo, he's playing COD.
Yep. Either game will get you into racing.
Goes to show that anything's possible.
I mean, it makes sense. Your hand-eye coordination, if you're a pro-level gamer, I'm assuming you have advanced hand-eye coordination, right?
Yeah.
Quick reaction times. Yeah. So it does make sense if you like cars.
I want to see someone with a RuneScape career make it to IMSA.
You're looking at him.
I'm looking at two right now.
I can guarantee that we may not be the first, but we will finish.
Point and click type
stare.
Want a OSRS like livery on the car.
But for real, like, let's say I ain't come out of the womb downshifting into second. Mm-hmm. How do you get into racing if you're in your 30s or your 20s? You know, like, how do you start getting into that sort of thing? I know you've been dabbling.
Trying to, yeah. I think the big thing that I've learned so far from everyone that I've talked to, which I've been so blessed to meet so many incredible people, is the concept of you needing to start in the karting world is dying. And that's a good thing. Because karting in 2025 is incredibly expensive. Essentially, everything that can be expensive now to go through the traditional route of getting up there has been capitalized on. I mean, karting series can cost you $150,000, $200,000 a year now.
Insane.
Which is nuts when you consider...
And that's supposed to be the entry level.
Exactly.
You might as well just race.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's kind of been the problem. And some people have, right? Some people have just jumped that. There's a really good individual. He's a Mazda driver. His name is, I actually spoke to him, Cam. He started his life on the sim, though, racing spec Miatas and things like that on iRacing, and he's doing incredible. He's actually in the running for the Mazda Shootout sponsorship for this year because he's been doing so well. He's got multiple titles, multiple wins this year, both in real life and also on iRacing. And so I do think that if you want to get into racing, the best place to start is on the sim. I think for 99% of people that want to take it seriously, I think a really great place is to start on the sim, and not a fancy sim, not a full setup like some of the ones that we have. I think you can literally start as basic as like Logitech, some pedals that you can just like Velcro to the floor and just go. And the reason that I say that is because I feel like the biggest thing people miss in this process is that it's about discipline and commitment to get there.
Yeah.
If you can't remain consistent in jumping on the sim every day for 45 minutes or 60 minutes or 90 minutes, you're not going to get to a point where you can compete against people who have done this for their entire life. And that is your competition. It's new gen versus old gen. And new gen has to be hard enough on themselves to say, I don't care if nobody's watching, I'm still going to go practice, because in the traditional sense of go-karting, you always raced against other people. You always had people watching. Right. So that's what I would say. I think has been a really great start for a lot of people younger than me. But I would say the way that I'm going to be going about it or through it is really traveling down the least expensive path possible, which is spec Miata racing. Like, that's about as cheap as you can get. And we want to get get that journey started between 25 and 26 with Mazda Motorsports. It's still an expensive venture for sure, but when you start getting into that world and you can position yourself in terms of talking, performing and getting partners and sponsors on board, it is possible, 100%.
So is it like, you got to get sponsors to be able to race?
I think so. Yeah. I don't think you can really get anywhere without, advertising dollars or your own dollars. Sim racing works really well because it is your own dollars. And then you can kind of do your own side promotion as a part of streaming or on socials or things like that, because that's, really valuable. But people need to learn how to sell themselves if they want to get into even like the grassroots motorsport racing in some way, shape, or form. It can be content, it can be streaming, it can be something, but
yeah, some sort of marketing. I feel like it's like you look at the space now and it's like there's so much, and it could be, marketing for like the team itself, but just like you said, marketing for yourself, like this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I do it, and this is how I drive, kind of thing. It's such a big element of that, and it's like kind of an unthought about thing sometimes, I feel like, where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go drive the car. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to do that, then you need to probably like join like some sort of team then.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with, if you remember AO Racing, we have a great relationship with those guys and gals, but when they came onto the front with the Rexy design, it wasn't the dinosaur concept that blew a lot of people away. Initially, it was the concept that there was a race car out there that was not completely destroyed by sponsor logos on it. And people were more blown away by the fact that there was like a clean-ish looking car out there rather than there was a dinosaur. Then over time, obviously, that story developed and stuff. But I remember seeing it for the first time thinking, who is that? And how do they have that much money to not need sponsors, on their car? Because even like the biggest partners out there, even factory teams, they have sponsors for their stuff.
Covered, yeah.
So I would say that's a big thing. There's a lot of people that think that sponsorships are about like just going out and asking for stuff. And I think a lot of people do get that side of the world wrong too.
Yep.
But that's, that's just part of it, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, getting out in your own car with what you have, go do a track day, go drag race, go do autocross, whatever you can, I think is a good way. It's really eye-opening. I remember like my first autocross and my first time going to the drag strip, like it was such an eye-opening experience and realizing like, okay, this does take a lot and it is a skill set and you have to learn, and you start from the bottom up, and getting that seat time, I think is really important.
Yeah, there's a big misconception, I think, in racing where you have time to figure it out. And I think that's the biggest probably myth in getting into racing is you don't have a lot of time. When you start getting everything put together and you start figuring out, what you're going to drive and where you're going to go or what events you're going to go to, when you get to that event, like you have to think that your second lap out there, your third lap out there, you're at the best that you can be. And you need to be able to perform underneath those conditions. And if you can't perform underneath those conditions in the comfort of your own home on a sim, you're not going to be able to do that in front of, 30 other cars and a few thousand people that might be watching you. It's kind of one of the reasons why Jake and Craig, who you guys met that had those Corvettes, like when they went out there to run final bout, like they were pretty peeved because they felt like they were going to have more time to kind of get everything figured out and to get out there and run some laps and get some practice before they were essentially jumped into qualifying. And essentially they didn't. They only had a few runs and then it was over. And they didn't even make it past that. And they're like, what the hell? I thought we had more time. And it's like, you have to pretty much perform at your 10s.
It's an on-off switch.
Like that. Yeah. And you have to be able to turn it on.
Yep.
And, essentially tell, everybody else on the field, like, I don't give a crap about you. Like, I'm going to race to win. And then once you're done, that has to come back off.
Yeah, it's gnarly. I feel like racing is very unforgiving in a lot of senses. But I think it's a good thing, too, to get to an IMSA race if you haven't gone to. They're super neat, super eye-opening. It's so open. Like, you get to go everywhere. Like you were talking about earlier, how you can walk in the paddocks. You can see how these teams operate and kind of the controlled chaos that they have going on during the races. And I think seeing that kind of like behind the scenes is really valuable too. And it puts a perspective into racing that I didn't have before when I went to my first one. So, I mean, they do them all over the place. There's IMSA races going on all over.
And there's a lot of stuff that follows it too. Like there's a lot of people that Maybe being in big crowds, like that's not your thing. Maybe you just don't like it, and that's totally okay. But maybe you love racing. Go the day before. Sure. Go watch the Spec Miata race. Go watch the Porsche race. Go watch even Hyundai has their spec race that they do, beforehand. It's like, go watch that. That's still a ton of fun. And some of the craziest driving in any series is that Spec MX-5 Michelin Challenge.
Now, how does like the licensing and stuff work for that? Because you have to have like a license to actually compete, like legitimately, right?
Yes. So there are certain types of licenses that exist out there. If you wanted to jump into,
I got a car, whatever, I'm ready to go. How do I get, like, what license do I have to go get?
So you would essentially go through, most people would probably go through the SCCA,
okay,
and then you would go get your provisional, novice racing license.
Gotcha.
And that novice racing license is based off of what classes did you go to, what's your experience, do you have referrals, this, that, and the other thing. Then once you kind of get that put together, then they say, okay, you have to be a member, you become a member, then you have to take some tests, and then as long as you pass all of that, you get this card and it says, hey, if you want to progress, past this provisional license, rookie license, you gotta go out and you gotta race,
okay,
and then based on those races and your performance, and if you cause any issues, they essentially keep track of you and how you do, and
sure,
your attitude on things. Because some people, they'll get their license, they'll go out there, they cause all sorts of havoc, and like the SCCA will revoke their license.
Okay,
they'll just take it back.
That's pretty serious. Huh?
So that's how you would start. And then certain races have certain requirements for licensing. Some don't require any licensing. I know that there are certain Lemons races, for instance, where it's kind of just like, do you have good enough experience? Do you know the people?
You're just not going to wreck immediately. Yeah.
Okay. Then you're good.
So how many steps of that like license? So you said there's like the provisional, like novice, rookie one. How many like steps are there after that? Or is it kind of just like based off of like a system or something?
I don't know the answer to that. What I do know is that there is a vast amount of requirements and licenses to get up to your like GTD or LMP2 stuff, because you're essentially it's kind of like iRacing. You're improving. You have things that have to come with that, and then you have milestones. And when you hit those milestones, you can get upgraded to your next, driving ranking. It's why Max Verstappen spent time at the Nürburgring this year so that he could get his license in a reduced powered car, still finish the whole thing. He got it. He's good. Now next year he can come back in a full-fledged race car, full power, full everything, and race to win.
Gotcha.
So every team, every organization is a little bit different. SCCA, I think, does a really good job with making it clear to understand. But again, it's a lot of money. Like as you jump into that world, that's where it's like understanding how you're going to financially do it is something you can't avoid.
Yeah.
Like you have to know how you're going to fund this idea. And if you don't have a plan for that, you better be really good and you better really know how to market yourself, because you only got so much time before you run out of money.
Right. I mean, even the equipment you use, from like the suits, fire suppression systems, roll cages, like all the safety stuff that goes into it. You can spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It's a never-ending battle.
That was the most mind-blowing conversation I ever had with Mazda Motorsports, when they're like, yeah, we'll help you with the harder part of the build. And I was like, what is the harder part of the build? And he's like, oh, we'll give you a rolling chassis with a roll cage. I'm like, isn't the engine and like transmission and like glass, isn't that the hard stuff? He's like, no. He's like, that's the easiest part of this whole thing.
That's just a bolt.
Getting that roll cage welded and assembled and spec'd and cleared and certified and ready to race, that is the most expensive and hardest part, because most people just go through one place to get it all done, and that place has wait times, months, if not years, of having that roll cage.
Significant standards that they abide by.
Yeah, I mean, Mazda's probably one of the safest spec series there is, because there's so much carnage out there that can happen, and those cars are so.
I was gonna say you're looking at an entry level series that a lot of people are hopping into as their first ever type of event like that. I mean, we've all seen the videos. You got the guys out there that are like been driving Miatas for 30 years, and you got someone who's out for the first time, and you get all of them out on the same field in the same car. It's
scary, dude.
Scary time.
It's scary. I haven't even been out there yet in a way like that. But like even when we were practicing with advanced auto sports, I remember getting like bump drafted for the first time, and that shit's petrifying. I'm like coming through the kink, and all of a sudden I feel a car hit me in the back, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on back there? And I look, and you can see, I remember seeing his face, just a smile, just a shitty grin with the helmet, and you can just see, you know, and it's like that kind of puts that pit in your stomach of like,
oh shit,
holy shit, like that is a crazy thing. And you know, in endurance racing, I mean, those guys are doing it for 6, 10, 12, 24 hours, you know, and I think that's what makes it so, it's hard to appreciate until you see what those guys have to do. And like the stuff they're changing on the fly, like they have a million buttons in that goddamn car. Like they're changing shit constantly for different corners and different, man, it's a lot.
That is a lot.
It's a Scantron test in there.
So what's your goal? When, or like, do you have a date you're aiming for your first race, or how's that look?
I don't know yet. I would really like to. I mean, obviously, our big goal was to try and get out there, you know, this year. And I learned that it takes longer than what I thought. But I also think we spent a lot of focus and a lot of love on MartiniWorks this year, making sure that, and that to me is, you know, that's how we're going to figure out how to financially get out there, right? Is we have to have something to support us, and I'd rather have it be us.
Right.
But, you know, the goal will be next year to have some time on track in a spec Miata, and maybe spend some time out there with the PFM and get more, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the overall goal with the PFM? Like, is that like a series that comes? Did they come to Road America? Do they, you know, where does that run?
So that can go in a lot of different places. You'll probably see a lot of that at the Autobahn Country Club, because that's where a lot of those cars sit. So we might bring it down there for a couple of races. I know we're close to the Autobahn team, but I don't feel comfortable yet being able to get in that and be like, all right, let's race. Sure, you know what I mean? So I'd like to get some time, and same thing with Lars and you know, some others, is let us be our own competitors in that car for a little bit and see how we can do good in that and learn how aero works and get all that practice in. And then let's practice over the wintertime, you know? So we're a few months away from that, which is pretty crazy to think about, but Daytona's in January. The roar of Daytona's in January as well. And so I know that Greg and myself and Dustin and Lars are all going to start getting ready for that. And then we'll practice after that with some sort of PFM equivalent in iRacing and try and see if we can get some good lap times.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be doing a lot of sim racing this winter is what I'm hearing.
That's the goal. I think I'm kind of turning it into like working out. And I think by doing it that way, instead of just trying to do it as like, oh, when I have time, I think it's going to help a ton.
If you don't dedicate the time for it, it's just like, oh, I'll get to it.
You never get to it. Yeah. I was my sim rig was collecting a ton of dust. Because my computer, I just like could not figure out a smooth way to run it from my desktop. And so I stole the one from the shop and I took it to my house and I was like, let's see how easy this is. And I plug it in, press the power button, go to iRacing, click erase, everything worked.
Damn.
Holy shit, this is nice. Like my old PC was, I'd run 2 races and then it would just like freeze.
Sure.
And then my graphics card would like roll back and then one monitor wouldn't work. And I was like, what Matrix shit did I just break in here? So that's the plan. And I think continue to have fun with it, not try to do anything too crazy with it. I don't want to become a race car driver. I really like doing what we're doing now.
I just want to drive race cars.
Yeah, like I'll be the happy little idiot in like the middle of the field having fun with the other happy little idiot that also just got his spec Miata. You know what I mean? That's kind of the goal for me, because Cam and those guys, those guys are insane. Those guys, they drive those Miatas like it's their own shoes. It's a nuts experience. And even though they don't look like they're going the quickest, the corner speeds are nutty.
100%.
So, but yeah, that's the game plan. And then I'm going to try and convince Gels next year to sell his S chassis and get a 350Z.
Interesting.
I'm just wondering if we could have an intervention for a couple minutes.
Maybe.
Realistically, you probably could sell the 240.
Make money.
Get enough for a 350, right?
If I put the work into it to get it back on the ground and reasonably operable again.
There will be a day where he's going to walk into that garage. It's going to be like January. And then he's going to like open up the cover Is there a cover on the car?
No.
There's no cover on the car.
Why would there be a cover on it?
He's going to go into the garage and he's going to turn the lights on after not being in there for 2 months and realize the car's gone because we've stolen it and we fixed it and then we sold it. And there's a 350Z.
We pimped his ride? Yeah. Oh my God.
I feel like Gels wants
to be the best outcome, honestly.
I feel like Gels wants to keep the S chassis, but I don't think he's against if one day he woke up and there was like a gray manual mid-mile angle kit 350Z in his driveway. See, I'm just convinced he doesn't care.
I love the thought of owning an S chassis. The actual process of owning an S chassis kind of fucking sucks.
I'll put fish tanks in your wheels.
Bet. In the wheels is crazy.
Yeah, there's gonna be some like animal abuse stuff. Probably. You can't put fish tanks in the wheels.
This is a really wild fucking just out there lob. Do you ever watch Rugrats All Grown Up?
Of course I did.
Remember, was it Dill that had like the fish belt?
I'm trying to tap into this.
It was like a fish tank.
I remember Dill.
I thought it was the coolest shit.
But I don't remember fish tank belt.
Dude, it was wild.
I remember Dill. Nope.
That shit lives rent free in my mind. I thought that was the
really
wildest
cool
concept.
Whoa.
Did you find it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yes! That shit was crazy.
Dude, I remember
I could see you standing like this.
I do stand like that.
I remember him looking
I have that hat.
like that, like the outfit, everything. I remember that. I do not remember fish tank.
It was like one episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was like always wearing it. I'm like,
How?
No, it was like he invented it or something. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's how you want to do it. I would say if you're gonna start racing, the last thing I'll add in terms of sponsorships is do not message brands saying, "Can I have a sponsorship?" Do not do that.
Why? How many likes for a sponsorship?
Yeah, that's more.
That was the
what
worst
it
thing
is.
to ever happen to the internet.
It really is. Dude, we still get messages probably daily.
Yeah.
Hey, how many likes for set coilovers? I go to their page, 2 followers, clapped ass car, not running, project car, gonna be sweet.
Yeah,
That's me.
We've got.
Giles keeps messaging our own account. It's annoying.
Please finish my car.
He goes in Photoshop, takes a picture of the car,
Instagram accounts.
just changes the hue of the S chassis.
I could. It's really easy. It's basically a green screen.
It turns into a blue car. The biggest tip I could ever give you guys if you're looking for sponsorships is like figure out what the brand needs and then pitch that solution to them, in your deck. We've had a couple, really great partnerships with certain brands. Some have worked and some we've said no to. Not that we want to, but a lot of times if you can look at an account and say, okay, well, this doesn't look like they're running, very good ads. Doesn't look like they have a super good, strong YouTube account. Looks like they're trying to educate, but they don't have any Instagram stuff. Like, try to tailor it towards that brand's needs, and really try to develop something a little bit more unique, because you'll have a lot more success with that rather than just like messaging somebody and saying,
just get it out of your head that you're getting parts for free. You're not.
No.
If you're getting a set of wheels, you're getting taillights or suspension, you're not getting them for free. You are trading work for them. You are trading work that equals the value of that part. So you getting a set amount of likes or doing a couple photos of the part,
it doesn't do anything for them.
No, you're trading essentially. So you have to get it out of your mind of like, oh, I really would love to get a sponsored set of wheels for free. No, it's not for free. You are trading work. You have to have work. You have to have that all lined up. It's totally doable and you can, but 99% of people go about it the complete wrong way and are in the wrong mentality to even get a sponsorship. And it is work. And I think a lot of people have misconceptions about it too. A lot of times, like, you have to do more of what the brand is wanting and needing versus like, ooh, I like this wheels. Can I get these for free? They might be like, those are discontinued. We just dropped this and we need to promote this right now. It's all marketing. It's business. So, it's just a bigger endeavor than probably what you're really thinking it is.
Yeah. With that being said, we're going to take a small break, but not before talking about our partner of the MartiniWorks podcast. Say the
Conti. He did the thing.
It's been a while.
He did the thing.
There's so many people that have put that in their order notes.
I've heard it too.
Instead of people will be like, hey, instead of tell your cat, I said pss, 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 it's tell Dakota. I said Conti.
He loves it.
Continental's been a partner with the MartiniWorks Podcast for a long time. They've got some fantastic tires, great warranty on their tires, and they perform exceptionally well both on the track and off. As you're jumping into the wintertime, whether you're looking for the Viking Contact 8, which we have on the website, or you're looking for something like DWS06 Plus or ECS02, cannot speak more highly of Continental Tire for being a partner of the podcast. Their tires perform in a way that is predictable. They heat cycle very, very well. They have great visual indicators if you need to know whether your tires need to be replaced or not. The sidewall is very actually nice to look at, which is something that does matter.
Tires.
They're good-looking tires, and they last a good long while. And so if you're looking for a set of Continental tires, whether just by themselves or you want to package it with wheels at MartiniWorks.com, which we will mount, balance, and ship them to your door. So all you have to do is throw them on. We recommend doing that with Continental tires. When I was down at Petite, there was a group of individuals that scared me.
Oh.
Every time they were around, I just got a little tense.
It was close to Halloween.
I thought maybe I didn't even want to blink. I figured I would get in trouble.
What the?
And that group was the Georgia State Police. They scare the shit out of me. Every one of them looks like they're about to just absolutely beat your ass. None of them look like they've had a good day in their entire life.
They've seen some shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, and they have
Atlanta, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, what they go through has to be intense. And I tried talking to one, and they didn't really want to spend a whole lot of time chatting with me because they were too busy being pissed off by just existing at Friday at 5 o'clock. But it started to make me think. I was like, when I think of Atlanta, when I think of Georgia, I think of GSP. That's the first group of people that I think about. So then I'm like, what do you think is the official vehicle of certain states? What's the official vehicle of Texas?
Texas would be a Charger or Challenger.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
When I went there and I got my Supra and then I drove back, I had to drive through a good portion of Texas. It was Chargers and Challengers going fucking $180 on the highway the whole time.
I was thinking Jeeps.
Of Texas?
Yeah.
No. Hell no.
Never been to Texas. Wait, yes, I have. I've been to Texas.
There ain't no Jeeps.
There's a lot of Jeeps.
No.
we're gonna speed round it.
All right.
I'm gonna speed around 5 states.
Okay.
First, you have to answer Texas.
Oh, for Texas?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Toyota Tundra.
Tundra?
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
There was a period of time, and I don't know if they still are, but a lot of the Tundras, the first I-Forces, were all made in Texas, and Texas loves Texas. Nobody loves Texas more than Texas.
True.
Because I don't know.
Oh, you went on Toyota excursion.
Well, I knew
they told you that.
I actually knew that because my brother and my dad both bought matching black I-Force Tundras, the first generation.
Got good taste.
And they didn't. They told me that 20,000 times. So
Toyota, baby.
Taking it as
kind
truth.
of ingrained in your memory now. Yeah.
Father, son, holy Tundra.
Speed round states.
Speed round official vehicle of certain states. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, you got to be quick with it. No explanation. Hawaii.
Tacoma.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I was gonna say Tacoma.
Forerunner.
Any sort of Toyota.
That is not a state. New York.
Ford Crown Victoria.
That's what I was gonna say for the taxis, right? That's even though that's just a very small portion of New York, but I thought the exact same thing.
Memphis.
We're going cities.
Tennessee.
Yeah, we're
Tennessee.
mixing up cities. Tennessee. We were just there, so it's hard. Traffic gets a little mixed while we're there. I would say a Nissan Altima.
Does it say Altima? What? The Maxima.
I swear, yeah. Around Memphis, you will see the most clapped Altima. How is it driving? How is it on the road? What panel is left on? You almost can't even tell it's an Altima. You have to look at what kind of car is it, because it is just
what's
so
left of it.
fucked. Yeah.
Florida.
Ooh, I go back and forth on this one, but
that's where I'm saying like Charger, Challenger.
Oh no, I would say V6 Camaro. That is one respectable answer, or one of Porsche's SUVs.
Oh, okay.
It's all retired people. What are retired people going to buy? Yep.
Corvettes, maybe.
Yeah, California.
Tesla.
Yeah, I was gonna say EV.
The California Camry.
Rivian.
Yeah.
Rivians are nice.
Dude, there's so many goddamn Teslas out there. It's crazy.
There's a lot.
Washington.
Ooh.
Forerunner. I've watched a lot of like camping videos, and a lot of guys out there go camping. It looks beautiful, and foreigners, just saying.
Yeah, what else is like that?
Subaru.
Yeah.
Crosstrek.
Oh, for
that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yep.
And finally, Wisconsin.
The official vehicle of Wisconsin would
Chevy
be...
Malibu.
Oh, that sucks, man.
You couldn't have picked a cooler car for our own
I'm
state?
sorry.
I was gonna say an ACR Dodge Viper because that's all I see. You go outside, that's all you see driving.
I literally do. I cannot turn a corner without seeing another, 1993 Porsche 911 Turbo. Like they're just everywhere.
Yeah. Just GT3 RS is everywhere here.
If it's just because we like live here, obviously we know more about the state. But I feel there's just so many like distinct areas in Wisconsin that are so vastly different.
Yes.
So it's like tough for me.
It is to like narrow it down. Yeah, 100%. I'm trying to think when I'm on the road what I see. You know what I fucking see all the time? What are those? Shit. I'm spacing. Is it a Hyundai or is it Kia?
The Santa Fe's?
Yes. Yeah. I see Santa Fe's everywhere.
Yeah. They have a damn good program right now.
There is a fuck ton of Kias and Hyundais in Wisconsin.
If you guys ever want to know why there's so many cars on the road that are new, it's always the leasing programs.
It's because Kia of Duluth.
Is that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, they used to radio station.
I drove past a dealership in Wisconsin that had like the EV Dodge Challenger for like $150 a month. Lease.
It was
brand
insane.
That I thought about doing it just so I didn't have to put miles on my vehicle. $150.
Yeah, we were like grabbing lunch or something. And we're like, did we just see that
like
right?
Was that? Yeah, I had to like double take.
That's kind of how I feel about the Nissan Leaf that Nissan sent me. Because at first I looked at it and I was like, I'm not quite sure what to think about this. There's no part of this that's modified, aftermarket, sports car, IMSA, endurance. Like it's just a Leaf.
Yep.
And I started driving it. And I started looking at the price. And I started realizing my happy little ass only drives 2.5 miles to work and back.
Right.
Monday through Friday, and that's it. And I looked at this, I'm like, honestly,
get it.
It makes sense.
It's a new car, a lot of new amenities, does what it needs to do.
Alex showed you open the door. It had like the biggest digital dash.
I haven't really looked at it yet.
It's kind of convenient.
He showed up the other day. I was like, "What the hell is that?" He's like, "Oh, I just dropped it off at my door." I'm like, "Okay."
That is literally what happened. Okay, another question for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
You have to take your two worst types of car drivers, and you have to put them in the city of Milwaukee to battle it out.
They're already there.
What two groups are you putting together?
Anyone that puts ducks on their dash, and then anyone that does not have all four hubcaps on their vehicle. And I want to see that fight.
Gels?
Anyone with like the plastic tow hooks dangling from the rear bumper that's like self-tapped into like the plastic bumper. And what's another one? Who am I putting them up against?
Truck nut people.
the same vibe, yeah.
I would put everyone that has ever put a locally hated sticker on their vehicle against anyone who has decided that it was okay to not use turn signals.
Oh, okay.
I
like that. I have a side hobby, and it's finding the oddest stickers that people put on their vehicles, because like it blows my mind thinking about like, okay, they saw this sticker, they put in their credit card info or got the right denomination of cash out and paid someone to put this on their vehicle. I've seen some crazy ones, but I just seen one this weekend. I was at a wedding and I see it in the parking lot and it said,
"Can you tell the chat
what
the population of the city that you were in before you share this?"
1,000 people. It was a population of 1,000. Yeah, big city. I went to a big city this weekend. It said, "Driver is the DJ. Passenger shuts their cake hole." I just thought that was such a unique sticker. I've never seen anyone with that sticker.
I think
before.
that's like it goes above, because it's like you didn't just go buy that somewhere.
Someone
made that for you.
Yeah,
that's a custom one. That's a custom order. What's a cake hole?
It's where you put cake in your
I don't like that.
No.
What was the sticker that everybody judged way back in the day that was on every like other car?
I mean, locally hated.
Locally hated was a
Locally hated worst sticker. What are other terrible stickers to have on your car?
Powered by sports. And yes, that's a real.
Yeah, there was this era, and it's like Temu fucking Amazon decals. And I don't know if it's based off of something, like an actual motorsports thing, but it's like sports powered by sports. There's something along those lines.
I've seen that in Appleton.
I know.
Yeah.
I've seen multiple of it. I don't understand what it means.
I've also seen a lot of edgy moms that put "powered by bitch dust." That's a big sticker
and the
in
Disney
Appleton.
logo or like the Disney font.
Powered by bitch dust. That's insane to me. You paid for that.
You're telling random strangers that too.
And what was the other one? My kids are sassholes.
Yeah.
That was a big old banner on the back of a car.
I think the one that still gets me is the coexist. The ones that have like been caked into the trunk because they've been on the car.
Oh yeah,
2006.
yeah, like that is a part of the vehicle.
Yeah, they were huge back in like the early mid 2010s. Yeah, Salt Life.
Yeah, I don't know what that one is.
Just like ocean.
We're in Wisconsin, dude. What?
Got the car from Florida, Salt Life. Yeah. That's a big one. That's
doesn't have any
I'm
rest.
trying to think of like going to like a car meet, like car show, and I see this like sticker on someone's, and I'm just like,
oof. Another good question.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the one thing people do to their car that instantly turns it, in your opinion, into a bad build?
When they modify the gas cap cover. I hate that. Don't change utility parts on a vehicle, and then you make it stand out. Like the point of the fuel door is to blend into the vehicle.
Panel.
Yes,
like that's all it is.
You go and you want it to stand out and look cool. Leave it alone. I judge your build if I see that. 100% every time.
Can you ask the question again?
Like, what is the one thing you would see on a car that instantly ruins it for you for a build? Like, it could be a perfect car, but it's got this one thing. You're like, I'm done with it.
I got another one.
Yeah.
Would you like to go again?
Yeah.
Would you just like to tell us how you feel?
Dude, I feel like this is resurging. I thought it was a trend that died off completely. It didn't. It's resurging, and it's taking your automatic vehicle and making it look manual.
Oh, like covering
like
up
spinning, and putting like a shift boot over your Prindle. That's coming back, and it's huge in the 4Runner groups. It's like, why do you even want that to look? What are you doing?
Everybody wants to have a third gen 4Runner.
Yeah,
I think any car that has a wing and also a roof rack.
Okay,
it completely fucking.
You're right. You're right. That's like
cancels out.
Ton of STI owners right now. They all have those huge roof boxes that are like paint match or the all black ones, and then the STI
boxes. The boxes are okay. It's like just like when you have like the rack and a bunch of shit on it for no other reason than just having shit on it. And then you have like a Battle Arrow wing, and it's like, what?
We all knew the Battle Arrow wing wasn't doing anything anyways. It's just there to look crazy.
Yeah. I think the Surikawas are just like I just don't like them.
Yeah, that's always a red flag.
I've always had a battle against
red
them.
Flag.
I'm not. I think there are people that will like put them on the inside to like make it look cute. I always see like the pink heart ones are always like the go-to ones. I just think that like you can have like the cool. I always think Miatas. Like you can have the coolest Miata build, hard top, Nardi on the inside, nice and clean, good-looking work wheels, and then you put that Subway Surfer freaking plastic dangle on like the back bumper, and I'm like, no, everything else is so good.
I feel like that has slowed down a little bit. It was so huge. I feel like every single vehicle had
after
something
that it was
hanging
the
from
Starliner.
Yes,
everybody started doing Starliners in their interior, which I still think can look good. I just think you're doing a lot. I think everybody's going to the OE Plus look now, or trying to, and I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah, I think there's certain cars that the Starlight headliner can work.
Bentleys,
and then, but like putting a Starlight headliner in your fifth, Mark V Toyota Supra, I don't think that fits together.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah,
kind of clashes.
It's forcing. Yeah.
It comes down to that like, how like the style of the car, and you start like you said, just clashing like styles and genres, and it's like so say like you got a VIP car, but you're putting like Aero on it, or you have like.
And sometimes clashing can work. Sometimes you can pull it off. But
sometimes
not anymore.
Sometimes you just look at it, it's just like a hodgepodge of different stuff just thrown at it.
Yeah,
100%.
I think besides that, I think one of my favorite mods that I've seen people do nowadays And I think S chassis had this way back in the day, and I've seen it started to come back, and I really like it when it's done well. The two-tone paint styles, where it's like the top is like Sam has it, where it's like the top half of his S13, right?
Is
white, and then the bottom is
it's Modelo colored.
I love that. I like clean, on the right cars. I really think that can look superb.
My favorite part about like Sam's car specifically is he painted that all himself, and he did the two-tone, but he has the origin kit for it that he painted like the gold color. But underneath, like where the kit goes, like the car itself is also two-tone. So if like the kit comes off or whatever, like it's still two-tone. Like he was like, I want to make sure if like my side skirts go flying off or something like that, that the car still looks bad.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was a cool attention to detail.
Yeah, I like that. That's always a good style. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really coming back that I like or that is starting.
I've seen a lot of like subtle ghosted paint jobs, and I think that looks cool. And what I mean by that is like I've seen carbon fiber like hoods, for example, unless you like look close at it, you can't see the weave. It's like actually painted, but it's kind of like ghosted. I don't know if they mix it with clear or how that works, but it's like a light dusting almost over it. And I've also seen that with like the lowrider, like pinstriping and that style,
like really
kind of ghosted in. I really like that. I think that's neat. It's good when it's not overdone. It's just like a piece of the car, like the roof or the hood, just a small one piece kind of looks neat. I think that's really cool.
I really want to do that for one of my next builds, is like the engraving kind of.
That'd be gnarly.
Like the engine bay and the ghosting and stuff like that. I think that's so. The art of it is.
Oh yeah, it's
insane.
all like one of one. Then like you're finding an artist to do that, and it's like tattooing a car essentially.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's a good way to put it.
It's like you're putting your own twist on it. It's like no one else has that piece. Like that is the only piece like that. Then I think that's really cool.
Yeah. You guys have to let us know what you think about your favorite mods. And of course, we hope you enjoyed this episode of us talking about how to get into racing, a little bit about Petite Le Mans, and then of course the official cars of certain states for no other reason than because we thought it was fun. And if you're looking for car parts, don't forget to mod your car at MartiniWorks.com. We're obviously coming into almost November in a couple weeks, which means Black Friday and Cyber Monday stuff is coming up quick. And what we can guarantee to you guys and gals is that we will have deals that nobody else has, and we will be able to help you guys find the right stuff for your car. So if you're holding out for that moment and you need some help making sure that that you've got the right amount of pennies saved, shoot us a message. We'd be happy to help you out. Some stuff we can't release until November 1st, but we'll be able to let you know whether it's worth it to buy it now because there's nothing coming, or if you should hold out until November when something does open up. So Dakota, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I know that in your garage right now you have a bottle of Quick Detailer, and it literally has 2 squirts in it, if that. And it's to the point where it's like low enough that there's still fluid in it, and you hear it. But when you press the trigger, it doesn't work. It just kind of out
but
a little bit.
You haven't thrown it away.
But yeah, you're like, there's some in there, so I don't want. Okay, let's skip that. Get some good stuff over at MartiniWorks. We have Melco, and we have kits for you, so you can replenish your whole quick detailing, little supply that you have, what you keep in the trunk, or maybe you keep in the corner of the garage. Pick that up. Or if you do just need to, resupply on one thing, whether it's like glass cleaner or tire cleaner or quick detailer or soap, you can pick those all up individually as well. So a huge shout out and thank you to Melco Automotive for being one of the sponsors of the MartiniWorks podcast. That's all I got.
Okay, guys, we hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much, and we will see you next Friday.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.